Hello everyone, welcome to the program of VisionIAS. Firstly, as now prelims examination is over, so every candidate who has appeared for this examination need to shift their gear for this mains examination preparation, right? So after this prelims examination, ideally before a candidate, there would be two scenarios. One, that he would be qualifying the prelims examination. The second, that unfortunately he would not be making it to the mains examination stage. So irrespective of these two scenarios, one thing which has to be common with all the candidates who are aspiring for clearing this examination is that they need to prepare for mains examination dedicatedly. Why I'm telling this is a reasoning behind it, that because all the three stages of this examination requires a very dedicated approach and a dedicated phase of study. For example, for prelims examination preparation, all of you have kept maybe 2.5 months and 3 months dedicatedly preparing for this prelims examination, right? So now that prelims examination is over, we need to shift the gear and we need to dedicatedly prepare for this mains examination. And that's where a kind of deviation comes up with respect to different students, with respect to whether they are going to qualifying the prelims examination or not. So you need to be very much clear in your head that again, if I want to clear this examination, I need to dedicatedly prepare for mains examination irrespective of my result in this prelims examination, right? One thing. And for the students who are making it to the mains examination, you need to understand this is the most crucial time of your life, where again this 2.5 months time which you have got, you need to take every second count in this 2.5 months, right? And you require a very strategic approach, very dedicated approach to appear in the mains examination, right? So that is where, to cater into all the demands for this examination of the mains examination, VisionIAS has come up with a GS Mains Advanced course, which is a very well researched program which VisionIAS has come up. And we have seen different kind of issues and problems which students usually face during their mains examination preparation. We have tried to inculcate all those problems in terms of solution which this program is provided, and that is why I use the word a well researched program, depending upon what exactly is needed by a candidate for mains examination preparation, right? So irrespective of your results, you are going to prepare for this mains examination if you have a dream to clear this examination, right? So please be very much clear headed in this aspect, that if I have prepared well for my prelims examination, I should not get into that zone of prelims every year. I need to shift my gear. I need to focus on my mains examination preparation phase, right? That's where this mains advanced course is going to help you out in terms of your mains examination preparation, right? But it is very important. Many of us don't understand what is the demand which UPSC is putting forward for the candidates who are appearing in this examination, right? So if you have read the advertisement of UPSC which it puts out before the release of the calendar, it has very dedicatedly told that what exactly is the demand when it comes to prelims examination, what UPSC is looking for from candidates when it comes to mains examination, and what are the requirements for the final stage, that is your personality test, right? So we are focusing more on the mains examination. So I have very dedicatedly used this platform to maybe understand or make you understand, all the candidates who are or who will be preparing for this mains examination, that you need to understand what exactly is the demand of UPSC, which it has very clearly put forward in its advertisement. And I trust me, many of you have not seen this requirement, right? So before preparation for mains, we need to understand that what UPSC is demanding from candidates when it comes to mains examination preparation. So this is exactly the demand which in advertisement have been very clearly put forward. What I'll try to do is I'll try and make you understand each and every line of this demand, so that you are mentally aware that what exactly is the requirement which UPSC is looking from candidates who are going to appear in this mains examination. So the very first line which it tells that the main examination is intended to assess the overall intellectual traits and depth of understanding. So these are two qualities which are being looked from candidates: intellectual traits and depth of understanding. Rather than, again, they're telling that they are not looking for merely the range of their information and memory. So this is the first requirement of UPSC from the students. What exactly it means that the UPSC examination is not just about information. It is not about information loading. And that is, again, information loading was required in the prelims examination stage, where again there were some factual questions which require information based study. But when it comes to mains examination, it is more about articulation of things. It is more about understanding of things. It is more about what you have understood from whatever information you are reading from the static part of syllabus or from the newspapers of events happening around you, right? So information where again it is going to test your ability to think. Again, this is what is the meaning of this. How you are understanding and deeply thinking about the issues which you are reading with respect to the syllabus of all the 4 GS papers and your optional as well, right? Then a critical reasoning, right? Because we come across a lot of things happening around us. For example, there were stampede like situations, there were maybe crowd management issues, there were maybe a lot of social problems, right, which we read, right, in terms of a static syllabus as well as through current affairs. But you need to think deeply about it. That is where the differentiation starts from information, what you have gathered. Now it's time to articulate those in terms of how deeply you're understanding those topics, how critically you are analyzing all the topics which you are reading, right? And show intellectual maturity. What do you understand maturity? That how you are coming up and how you are articulating those information or facts what you are reading in terms of your understanding. And why it is important, this is where it comes. UPSC wants to see how well you understand things and not how many facts you are going to memorize. This is what the first line conveys us of the syllabus. Then let's see the second line, which tells, now they are telling what would be the nature of questions which UPSC is going to ask you in this mains examination. Now first they have told what is the demand. Now they are telling you what they are looking for, maybe what kind of questions they are going to put forward to the candidates who will be writing this mains examination, right? The nature and standard of questions in general studies paper 2 to paper 4 or 5 will be such that a well-educated person will be able to answer them without any specialized study, right? Now you'll ask, sir, what do we understand with specialized study? Because if you understand in this examination, if you look at the syllabus, there are a variety of subjects, right? So whenever we are reading such subjects, right, what is the minimum qualification which is required for a candidate to write this examination? That is, you need to be a graduate, right? So you need to have a basic information regarding all the subjects, and you need not to have a very specialized. That again, if you're writing an answer of geography, you need not to be a PhD in geography, or if you're writing an answer of history or economics, you need not to have a very master skills or maybe a doctorate skills when it comes to that particular subject. That is the understanding of this particular line, which says that the examination questions are designed so that a person with a very good understanding or a good education like a graduate should be able to attempt them, right? And you do not need a PhD level expertise. Just what is required, a general awareness, a good comprehending skills, and a clarity of thought. And this is very important. This line is very beautifully put it out, that you need to have a clarity of your thought process, because this is where UPSC is going to judge the candidates in terms of whatever they are writing, that how much clarity do they have regarding things which are being put forward in that particular question. Coming to the third line, the questions will be such that to test a candidate's general awareness of a variety of subjects, right, which will have a relevance for a career in civil services. Now it is very important that They're again telling that whatever you are reading in this mains examination syllabus, paper 1 to paper 4, there are many subtopics which are mentioned, right? And out of all the areas from that particular subject, UPSC has chosen a specific set of topics from that subject which a candidate who is going to have a career in civil services need to read. And why? Because these are the things which you are going to read in this mains examination preparation or the syllabus. It is going to have a relevance in your career in civil services. What exactly means? It means that whatever you are reading, it is something which you're going to apply once you become a civil servant. Everything, right? So that is where the thinking process should shift of a candidate. That again, if you're reading, it is not just a plain reading. You understand this is something which I'm going to do once I get into the administration, right? That's the clarity which a candidate needs to have once he or she is preparing for this examination of mains, which means UPSC will ask questions to test your knowledge of diverse subjects. We have discussed that polity, economics, society, geography, many subjects, right? Because a civil servant must understand that these areas in real world governance, and that is where the practical issues like that is all these things these are all the subtopics which are mentioned across all of these subjects will have a real world governance. This is something which you're going to do in the real world, right? So that is where your thinking and articulation should start in that way, right? And that is where the nature of scope of things, seeing the things is going to shift for a candidate who is preparing for this examination from a general person, right? That is where it is usually being told that once you have prepared for the examination, your personality is going to change in a very different manner, right? So the focus is on practical and applied understanding and not on academic mastery, right? Lastly, the questions are likely to test candidates' basic understanding of all relevant issues, ability to analyze them, right, and take a view on conflicting socioeconomic goals, objectives, and demands. Now, it is telling that you need to put out your point of view, your opinion about issues or socioeconomic issues happening around you. Right. So now the demand is ki through these answers, you are going to tell the examiner what do you think, what is your point of view regarding issues happening around you. Right. For example, if you see whether you are grasping the key issues clearly or not, whether you can analyze situations logically or not, right? And whether you can form a balanced opinions, right? What do you mean by balanced opinions? That again, for a candidate, you need not to put forward your personal opinion. Your opinion should, of course, be backed by constitutional principles, right? And maybe the governance principles, right? These are the areas, and that all of these would be your backing of your opinion, right? Especially when again in terms of socio-economic conflicting issues. For example, there is issue around development versus environment, right? So you need to put forward your point of view, which is going to be a balanced and maybe a very opinionated things regarding all the issues which you are reading, right? So this is where the third or fourth demand comes to the picture, that this reflects that civil servants do not making informed decisions on complex situations, right? So this all things, it is going to be assessed through your answers, right? And lastly, the candidates must give relevant, meaningful, and succinct answers. What does it mean? That relevant means stick to what is being asked, right? Relevant का मतलब ये होता है कि you need to understand what is being asked in the question. We need to address that thing only. Meaningful, it shows the substance and insight, right? That how much substance you have regarding that particular issue which is being asked in the question, and what kind of insights do you have which you are putting forward through answers in that particular question. And succinct means be concise and avoid unnecessary and lengthy. Be specific. Don't write anything which is not being asked in the question. And that's where the major challenge comes up. Just to fill up the paper, don't write anything. Write what is asked. You should not go beyond that. And that is where, in short, write what matters, say it very clearly, and do not ramble around issues. So this is where Now you at least you have a clarity before preparation for this examination that what exactly UPSC is expecting from students in this particular phase, right? So all of these considerations, why I picked up this before the beginning of this discussion of regarding our mains advanced course, that all of these things have been properly researched by our team, and then we have come forward with this VisionIAS mains advanced course, which is taking into consideration all the demands of UPSC which it asks from candidates in the mains examination phase. So let's see what exactly we are going to deliver you through this mains advanced course. So this mains advanced course is going to be in a span of 50 days, because this is the time what we have left with mains examination. It's going to happen on 22nd of August, right? So in the coming 50 days, we are going to cover the entire mains syllabus in a very dedicated manner. So now you will understand, ki, sir, the syllabus is very vast. How you are going to cover such vast syllabus in a very short span of time? Because now if you have studied for the examination, you're not starting from now. You have written prelims examination, you have an understanding of all the topics in the examination or in the syllabus of the examination. Now you are going to shift your preparation strategy towards mains examination, looking forward with the demand of UPSC, right? So this examination is of course will be an entire coverage of syllabus, but there are some aspects in this syllabus which are a basic understanding or factual information based study is required for that particular. For example, if you're going to read about fundamental rights, all the article numbers, all the provisions of the article are mentioned in the article. But again, this course is going to help you. We are going to make you understand how these things have an analytical depth, how all the topics have an inter-topic linkage. It means you understand there are 4 GS papers. Don't see these 4 GS papers in syllabus, which means if I am writing an answer on maybe polity, I need to put up some economic angle to it. I need to put up some geographical, social, legal, technological. The more diverse I become in terms of my answer writing, the more marks I'm going to fetch in the examination. And that is where the examiner is going to check my understanding of topics in a 360-degree manner, which is revolving around the entire syllabus. And that is what we are going to do in this whole preparation phases in this main subject. That every subject is going to cover not in syllabus, but taking into consideration all the issues which require a very in-depth or analytical understanding, right? All such topics will be covered in the classes for which analytical understanding is required. Some topics which are interrelated between the subjects, that would be covered, right? And answer writing capabilities would be enhanced, because at the end of the day, whatever you're going to read, whatever you're going to reproduce there in the examination, that's the reproduction, or that is what examiner is going to judge you on. There is no judgment on how much you have read, how much time you have devoted. The examiner is just going to judge you on the basis of the script of answer writing, what you are writing in that examination day, right? So that is what it matters, and answer writing is very important component of that. That is also taken into consideration in this mains advanced course. We'll see how, right? So this is entirely that how we are going to cover all the subjects in this mains advanced course, keeping in these point of view into consideration. And regarding maybe the classes will be covered in maybe for 50 classes. Every day there would be 2 classes. Each class duration will be of 2 hours and 30 minutes, right? And of course, they are going to be consecutive classes. The classes can be availed by students both in online as well as offline mode, because many of you or many students who are located far away in distinct cities, different states, who cannot come down to Delhi for preparation, they have also an option to watch this course again live in the classroom itself through live mode, right? And all of these classes will get recorded and will be available in your portal, which you can access till next year prelims examination, right? So of course, all the classes which it is going to get recorded, and that recorded classes you can access till your next year prelims examination of 2026. Right. So for this, because again, we are going to cover approximately 90 classes in this span of 50 days, right? So of course, there would be certain times that classes would be conducted on Sundays also. But again, mostly we have kept Sundays for your test, right? Again, I'll tell you what exactly and how exactly we have planned to evaluate your understanding. Before that, I'll very briefly discuss how we are going to cover these classes. This is going to be the tentative class plan which we have planned for this particular course, and subject wise number of classes, roughly this is going to number of classes for each subject. And VisionIAS has kept its very senior most faculties in this particular program. Why? Because this is very important stage, and all the important and all the senior most faculties of VisionIAS will be covering up these subjects in your classrooms, right? So this is going to the entire tentative class plan, which is going to span for 90 classes, right, in the span of 50 days, right? And all of these you can access through in our website. There is a dedicated brochure which has been uploaded regarding all the features. You can access that, and these details are available over there as well, right? So now how exactly we are going to cover up this, that this is how we have defined and discussed or made a plan, that we are going to have a subject wise approach, so that again every module, with every module coverage, you are getting one things ticked from your syllabus preparation, right? So we have divided the entire content into modules, right? So module wise coverage will be done in this course, wherein we'll start with history, then we'll go for geography, then ethics, economics, polity and governance, science and tech and international relations, and society and social justice. So this is a tentative timeline what we have planned, right? And with this approach, what is one problem? Because once we start to prepare, you need to give some time to a particular subject. There again, many times we do a very haphazard kind of a study, which sometimes do not fetch the very desired result of the time what we have devoted towards that particular subject. So keeping in mind this problem of students, we have devised this plan in a module wise manner. Now, one more tweak which we have given, because as the examination which is going to happen, many students are at different level of their preparation, right? So someone has a very good hold on maybe polity and governance, and he does not require maybe a dedicated focus in this 50 days for maybe polity and governance, or any matter of fact, many students have their strong areas, many students have their weak areas. That is where we have come up with a different approach this year, wherein we have divided the entire syllabus into modules, what I have discussed already, and these modules can be availed by students separately as well. What do I mean by this? Either you have an option to join the entire course, where again you will dedicatedly preparing for all the subjects, or based on your preparation, based on your demand, that which subject you require more focus, right, and which subject you have a strong hold, which does not require a very specific focus, you can choose between these modules. So again, there are dedicatedly approximately 11 modules what we have created. Either a student has an option to join module 1, which is entire GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? That's where this whole module comes up, 4 GS paper. Then we have divided that module subject wise as well. For the history, we have a separate module. For society, social justice, we have a separate module, right? So this is how the modules have been curated. And this is where the flexibility has been provided in this course for the students, so that they can avail the respective modules based upon the demand what they have at this particular stage of their preparation, right? Then what exactly are the special features which have been included, which are very intricately designed, keeping into consideration the problems which usually students face in this particular stage. Number one, during the mains examination preparation, we have a lot of content overload, right? In terms of we read a lot. Because again, the mains examination is very extensive reading about things, articulation of things, what I have already discussed, right? But the major challenge what we have seen, which is being faced by students interacting with a lot of toppers, what they have faced, the one problem which is very common is ki once I read a lot of things, maybe in a class I come, I read, a teacher teaches me a particular topic or a subject, I understood that, I go home, I start writing an answer. And that's where the problem starts. Ki once I get a sheet of paper with a question, I don't understand first the question, what exactly is being demanded, and how I should approach that answer. And at that point, where I am at my home writing an answer, there is no one to guide me. And that is the problem which we have taken into account and included in this program. That is, after 3-4 days, maybe after 3-4 classes, once a topics get covered in the class, there would be a dedicated 30 minutes live answer writing in the class itself, wherein a faculty would be giving you a question, right? And faculty will be staying in the class, and you in front of faculty would be writing down an answer. Maybe some student has an issue in terms of how should I start begin, what should the thought come in my mind that I should frame my introduction. Sir, someone has an issue in terms of how should I write conclusion, or how should I understand the demand of the question, or what should I exactly write in the body of an answer, how I should improve my presentation skills. So all the answer writing skills, right, it would be demonstrated live by the faculty in every 3-4 days span of time live in the classes. So the faculty would be giving you questions, you will be writing in front of faculties, whatever issues you are facing in terms of answer writing, you can directly ask the faculty, inculcate, resolve that doubt, and write your answer. This is where you will get a mental satisfaction that now I understood the topic, now I know how to articulate that understanding of topics in writing down the answers. And that's where this live answer writing is going to help you down in your mains examination preparation. That is the first special feature. Secondly, there would be a dedicated doubt clearing sessions. So what exactly does it mean? Many times what we have also seen with students, we come to classes, once a topic is being taught by the faculty, we grasp it very logically and very systematic manner. But once we go back home, once we start referring the standard booklets or the standard notes, or maybe the standard books which are supposed to be read for that particular subject, then where the doubt starts. And we see maybe previous year question papers, a lot of things, right? So therein, once a module gets completed, right? Let's take an example. Maybe the polity and governance module got completed, right? So maybe after that span of time, you are going to read that particular subject by, of course, you're going to go for self-study. And after that self-study, many times we have certain doubts. And those doubts are very logical and very fundamental, which cannot be understood by very naturally, but again, we require a certain kind of a help. So for that challenges which usually students face in this examination of mains preparation, that they need to get into touch with faculties in terms of their doubt clearing, right? And that is where after every subject completion, we will be organizing a live doubt clearing sessions with the faculty itself through Google Meet sessions, right? So this way, after a module is getting completed, after you have have gone for self-study of that particular subject, now whatever doubts you are going to have, you are going to come up in an online session where again the faculty would be there, and in that Google Meet sessions, you're going to resolve all your doubts then and there itself, right? That's where the second blockage in head, that once we start to read, once we have a lot of doubts, but doubts don't get resolved in a very systematic manner, which through faculties you're going to get in this particular program. Next, what exactly and what is the next special features? That preparatic and sectional test. As I discussed, and this is very, very important aspect which usually students neglect, that at the end of the day, we have this one perception in our mind that again, I need to read everything. First, I'll read everything, I'll get and gather all the content. And then after a very extensive reading, then I'm going to write this answer writing. And that's where the problem starts. And that is what we have feel that students have this tendency to maybe not write answers in this whole preparation, and they take this understanding that again, once I will read everything, then I'm going to write down the answers, right? And they keep on maybe stop, maybe they don't write the answers in a timely manner. For that practical challenge, what we have specifically done is after a subject completion, we will give we will give a 1 week of preparatory time. And after that 1 week of preparatory time, right, there would be doubt clearing sessions. And after that sessions, we are going to give you a test. And that would be a subject-wise test, right? And that will be, of course, consisting of 10 questions. We're not going to give you a 3-hour test, but a specific subject-based test through which after once, again, how it is going to help you and make you understand, because one problem which usually students have, that a lack of confidence. I don't feel confident many times ki whether I have completed polity and governance or not. Is there something left? Is there something still there I am missing out in terms of reading, in terms of my preparation before mains examination? That is where this test is going to help you out. You have covered the subject extensively in the class, you have resolved all your doubts, you have done live answer writing of that particular subject in the class, you have resolved all your concerns in terms of understanding, in terms of answer writing. Now we are going to give you a 1 week of a preparatory break as well. Again, after 1 week, once you are done with all the preparation phase, you are going to go for a live test in the class itself. Right? So that is where a sense of completeness would come down to you with respect to all the subjects which are there in mains examination. And these sectional tests is going to boost your confidence to 200%, not 100%, 200%, that yes, I am very confident and I am very sure that I have very specifically and effectively understood and completed that subject, of course, in terms of my mains preparation. Right? Now, the next specific feature, integrated current affairs and mains 365. While the faculties would be delivering the lectures in the classes, they have extensively planned these modules, keeping in mind the nature of questions which have been asked by UPSC previous year. We have done an extensive subject-wise maybe analysis of GS mains paper for 3 to 4 years in our VisionIAS, in our YouTube channel. There, of course, uploaded videos over there. You can go and access those live maybe analysis sessions of GS paper mains. One thing which we have seen is the questions revolve more around contemporary issues. There is one static part, but again a touch of current affairs. Even if some questions would be of complete static nature, but the kind of answer writing which is required is to inculcate some contemporary issues which are related to that particular topic asked in the question in the answer script. Right? And that requires a very dedicated focus approach, because we read a lot of current affairs, but we don't understand that where I am going to put such thing in my answer writing. For example, there is a report, Oxfam report, which talks about income inequality in the country, right? So but I have read about Oxfam report, but I don't know. So where in which kind of an answer, in which kind of a question, I'm going to use that report or quote that report in my answer. And that is where the faculties would be inculcating all such relevant current issues regarding the respective topics of the syllabus in their classroom approach. Number one. Number two, there would be a dedicated coverage of mains 365, which is of course read by all the toppers across India who are preparing for this examination, which is going to be an extensive coverage of all the important issues which were there in news for last 1 year, which are important for this examination or the upcoming mains examination, right? So there would be a dedicated coverage of all current affair issues, as well as a dedicated classes for covering those mains 365 document. Clear? The next feature, one thing which many toppers have told, that for every topic you need to have a one-pager notes. So what is the understanding? What do you understand by one-pager notes? Because as you understand, all of you must have seen that movie 12th Fail. In that movie, there was a scene that again, he was given a piece of paper to write an answer, and the time limit, which of course knew the standard is 7 minutes, that again in 7 minutes you're going to write down an answer. And in fact, at this particular stage, there is huge competition. In terms of what? Competition that again roughly 14,000 people are going to write this mains examination. All of them who have qualified prelims are equally good, are preparing dedicatedly for mains examination, but only 2.5 to 3K or 3,000 people roughly are going to go through the stage of personality test. So the elimination from 14,000 to 3,000. And all these 14,000 people are equally good in terms of the preparation. So now the chances and now the maybe elimination is going to be very thin line, very thin marks is going to be creating a difference in terms of whether you're going to make it to the mains examination or not. So in that span, many toppers have told, sir, we are getting only 7 minutes of time. In that 7 minutes, we need to frame, we need to understand the demand of question, we need to write introduction, we need to write the body, we need to maybe have a good presentation skills, we need to inculcate some presentation aspects which they have been telling in terms of data, in terms of flowcharts, in terms of diagrams, in terms of uses of maps, in terms of quoting of reports, in terms of quoting government schemes, right? Then effective conclusion, a balanced way forward, right? So many times toppers have usually told that for every subtopic of syllabus, you need to have a one-pager note. That one-pager note is going to be a summary that you're going to revise just before the examination, which contain all the data facts, all presentation aspects with respect to that particular topic, right? All maybe sometimes some standard introduction, some standard conclusions, some government schemes which are very specific to that particular topic. Trust me, this one-pager notes is going to help you a lot in the examination day, wherein from where examiners are putting or asking questions from the subtopics of syllabus. So for every subtopic, if you have a one-pager dedicated fact sheet, presentation sheet, which you can use in terms of understanding, in terms of reading, you can incorporate those specifically in the answer writing in the examination day in that 7-minute time. Why? Because now you are not thinking in this question of this topic, what exactly I'm going to write, what data I'm going to put up, what presentation I'm going to put up. You have your one-pager notes which should strike back to your mind. Sir, for this topic, I have read that one-pager notes and I'll inculcate all the presentation aspects, all the important facts, all government schemes which are relevant to that particular topic in the examination or in that particular answer of the respective question. And that is where this one-pager notes is going to help you out a lot in the examination day, wherein we are very short of time, but in that short of time, with this one-pager effective notes, you are going to use as much as important things in your answer writing, in terms of presentation, in terms of data, in terms of putting up government schemes, and a lot of more. Right? So this is where this other feature is going to help you down in terms of your answer writing in the examination day itself. Lastly, and very important, mentorship. Right? So every successful person has a mentor. Maybe you talk about Arjun in Mahabharata. He had a lot of dilemma when he was there in the war field. So Lord Krishna was the one who was mentoring him constantly, guiding him constantly, that how in certain situations you are going to take your decisions. We talk about maybe India has been successfully taking up a lot of trophies. So there is a coach who is helping those players in terms of analyzing, in terms of harnessing the areas or the potential areas from the respective players. In this examination also, sometimes we require hand holding. And that is where the mentorship program is going to help you down in this particular phase. wherein a student has different demands based on the respective phase of preparation where they are into, right? And there would be a tailored-made approach that how a mentor is going to help you out in this preparation process, right? So of course, a mentoring facility will be given to students in this particular program, wherein based on your requirement, whatever you need, what kind of assistance do you need in terms of your preparation, that would be helped on with that mentor, and this mentor will be your Krishna in this examination phase. So please use this mentoring facility to the fullest, which is very important in this examination of mains, right? And lastly, very important, what are we expecting from students who are enrolling in this program of mains preparation? We generally expect, and we only expect, that you have a basic understanding of all the subjects. Because as it is going to be a mains advanced course, so topics are not going to be started from very scratch, right? So again, all the topics which are very important, which requires intellectual understanding, which requires interlinkage of things, what I have discussed earlier, will be done by faculties keeping in mind previous year question papers, keeping in mind the nature of answer writing, right? And a lot of things, right? So we only expect from you that you have a basic understanding of all the subjects. That's all we require. And at this moment, you have a basic answer writing. Again, usually people, all of you must have written 1 or 2 answers or a lot of answers before, but again, though there would be answer writing sessions, right? And of course, that's where this role of mentor comes in, because there are a lot of students who have not written a single piece of answer, right? For them, this is where the mentoring support comes into picture. You write down answers, you come down to the mentors, you show them your answers, and you get them evaluated and get the feedback then and there itself, right? So that is an additional thing which is being provided apart from the live classroom answer writing sessions. And there would be tests, there would be a dedicated evaluation of tests, there would be a comprehensive feedback. On those test papers, you can come and have a one-on-one session with the mentors over here, wherein what is exactly you have written in the answer, what kind of feedback, what you have got, how you can understand that feedback, how you can improvise and take that feedback in your preparation so that that won't get repeated in your next answer writing of test, right? So all such things and all such considerations, all such problems have been taken very intricately in this program. And trust me, from the very core of my heart, I am telling you this, ki if you are going to make through this examination, you require a dedicated study for this mains examination, right? That's why, very lastly, for students who are going to make through the prelims examination this year, please don't waste a single second of yours. Everything is going to be counted. You have successfully cleared out of a bunch of lack of students, and you are going to make 200% of the time what you have got for this upcoming mains examination. Please use it to the fullest. Use this program, which has been very intricately designed, specifically looking for of the need of the candidates and the issues which they face during the examination preparation. And for students, again, I'm re-emphasizing this point again. Even if you're not maybe making up or clearing this prelims examination, you need to understand that this time won't come again, right? Because next year, even if you're writing prelims in 2026 again, therein, after January or February, you are going to dedicatedly prepare for prelims examination again, right? And with the time gap left between prelims and mains, very less time, 50 days to 2 months, right? So you cannot afford to start preparing for mains after you clear the prelims examination, right? So please be consciously preparing and consciously have this thing in your mind that irrespective of my result in prelims examination, I need to prepare in this mains examination, and I need to be in race with all the aspirants who are writing mains examinations this year, right? So please use this specifically designed, well-researched, demand-driven problem-driven program of VisionIAS, which is going to definitely and 100% help you down in your mains examination preparation. For more such details about the program, you can go and visit our website, where again there is a program details which have been very clearly put forward, and the respective details of the modules which I have discussed will be there. Or you can come down to our office or call to the number which is there in the website and have a discussion regarding this particular program, right? So don't waste the time, use it to the fullest, and please start preparing for the mains examination. And a very all the best to all of you who are appearing in this year mains examinations. Thank you so much.